North Carolina Republican Congressman Mark Harris joining me this morning. Good morning, Congressman.
Good morning, Hena. How are you this morning?
I'm great, better now. Thank you for coming on, sir. So we just heard some of the president's remarks where he describes what he calls the Justice Department being politicized. You agree it became political as well. What do you want the president and his attorney general to do differently moving forward?
Well, I think it's very important that the president, he ran on this very idea that we're going to end this idea of lawfare, where people go after their political opponents. It makes a sham of the Department of Justice. And I think the president is setting out to make sure that with Attorney General Bondi and working alongside FBI Director Kash Patel, that there's going to be a new day in the Justice Department, that they're going to restore confidence. That's the main thing I think that people are looking for, and that is to have confidence restored in our Department of Justice and not feel like that if you have a different political opinion of somebody, that somehow you're going to be criminally charged or charged in other ways. And so we're looking to see a big change there.
President Trump said that the DOJ was weaponized against him, but he also made similar threats to his presumed enemies. Isn't this a little bit more of the same thing?
Well, I think that what he is seeking to do is, with the leadership that is now there with Pam Bondi, is really have a Department of Justice that isn't going to look at people, whether they have an R or a D by their name, and doesn't look to go after political enemies, but really just looks to restore law and order. And that's really the key here.
All right, let's move on to education, sir. You are also a member of the House Education and Workforce Committee. I want to ask you about these department cuts and the president's plan to shut down the department. What are some of the specific problems with this department right now that you think it's necessary to shut down the DOE?
Well, I think the American people have recognized. In fact, I saw a recent study where the confidence the American people have has reached a 24-year low. When you look at the scores that have come out, our students are not really able to perform. We're seeing a drop in scores. The education department's own numbers show in math and in reading and in civics and in science, our scores are just atrocious. And I think that this is something President Trump said very clearly, and I think he believes that governance that gets closest to home is the most effective governance. And when we're trying to do education out of Washington, D.C. for all 50 states, that hasn't worked. And we've been talking for more than 40 years about abolishing the Department of Education and restoring the power back to the states and the local communities and restoring the power back to parents. And that's exactly what he is doing right now and really fulfilling the promises that he made on the campaign trail.
Yeah, to your point, President Trump is not the first one who has wanted to do this, but how would eliminating the department solve these problems that you just mentioned?
Well, I think because we're going to be getting the money back in the hands of the state and the local governments, whether it be by block grants. I think it's important for everybody to understand we're not looking to do away with services. We're looking to cut the bureaucracy and cut the red tape. And the services are going to be going to other departments that will be able to handle those, but primarily getting the power back to the state and the local school boards. And ultimately, through school choice, empowering parents to make the decisions about what's best for the education of their children.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.